everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Trish, yet again. Today, if you have city living, you probably recognize where we are. We're at the Stargazer Lounge, which is on top of a giant skyscraper in the middle of the city. City living is my favorite pack, so I do build here quite a lot. I do a lot of apartment renovations. I really, really do. I apologize if they're not your cup of tea. Today, I decided just to do something a little bit in the spirit of New Year's. Somewhere your Sims can go and just have a nice party, have a drink, get a little dancing in, maybe even do some daytime swimming. Heck, or nighttime swimming. I'm not going to judge. If this was real, I'd be here at night swimming under the stars. So basically, I started out with a pool in the middle and then started blocking out what I was going to use building-wise on the sides. I wasn't quite sure where I was going to begin with, so there's going to be a little bit of give and take and push and pull. As always with my builds, I'm incredibly indecisive. So I usually destroy something, then rebuild it again. I did know that I wanted the actual main club to be up above with the pool down below. I thought that would be very nifty to do. Originally, I was going to make it another lounge, and then I just decided that I would rather do a nightclub instead. So that's how that came to be. I completely ignore the top level to begin with and just kind of work on the bottom. Again, sorry if it seems a bit fidgety to you as I'm playing. If you don't know, I build on a PS4 Pro. I do not have a PC that can handle any kind of gaming of any sort at the moment. I mean, it takes about 8 hours for it just to render a simple 30-minute YouTube video that I upload for you, so I game on the PS4, and I save everything directly on the PS4, so that's just how I do it. Originally, what you're seeing me do here is I was thinking about putting a circle platform in the middle of the pool, but then I just decided that that's not exactly what I wanted to do. I'd rather do like a little bit of a different fun shape. And by different and fun shape, I mean, an H. So I do make it a little wider, a little bigger here. Give it some more room, pull it back a little bit. It doesn't look so H-like, it just looks more like a stylized pool at the end. What I'm working on now is I'm just trying to figure out how much space I want everything to take. I was playing through a little bit to see what requirements I was gonna need and everything, because I haven't built on top of a skyscraper in a while. I mean, I've done this particular lot countless times, but I haven't done it in a while. It's probably been a good 6 months since I've built on this lot, so I'm about due. I'm about due to build on it. I decided that outside we should have some greenery laying around the edges. I'm putting in move objects, obviously. So I decided some greenery would be nice on the edges, just to add a little something into it, because the city is quite green. If you actually look around, you can see in the corners and stuff in the city that there's trees everywhere and everything. I'm going to put these down without realizing that they're too tall and they're going through the floor. So I'm going to have to redo every last one of them. Yeah, I remember that I messed up. Yep, there we go. I saw it. I just saw it. And then I thought, well, what if I just make them smaller? And I was like, no, I don't like that. So I just used the medium-sized one and put them on the sides. Originally I went through and did all of them, but eventually you're going to see that I'm going to make every single one of these rooms just an exact replica of the first one I do. So even though I went through and like painstakingly put all these down, it's going to be for nothing, because I'm just going to copy and paste the room here in a minute. Again, using these base game shelf update we got, I'm loving all the different colors we have now and everything. So many more options now for consoles and things like that. And so what I'm going to eventually do is just copy this room and paste it 4 times instead of redoing it individually, because I just honestly didn't feel like putting down all of those consoles individually again on every single one of them. And I thought a unified space would look quite nice, so that's what I ended up doing. But right now you can just kind of watch that process. As you can see, I'm getting ready to like copy everything, because I went ahead and just deleted everything on that side. I'm putting down the cabinets to have like I said, a console effect here. I've obviously missed one. Somewhere along the line, I have misplaced one. And as you can see, it just has like a nice kind of calm look to it. My last build was really dark woods. This build is more kind of lighter colors and everything. I'm using a lot of the tile from um, Spa Day. Sorry, it just got a refresh and I couldn't even remember the name of it. I'm using a lot of the tile from Spa Day and stuff throughout the entire build because I just think it looks nice and clean. And it's just the way I like it. These couches are actually from Island Living. I love this black swatch because it just looks so modern and nice. And it's very clean looking. It just doesn't look like Island Living to me, but it is. And then I put down just the City Living fireplace, and it's one of my favorite coffee tables to use outside, just because it actually has that little fire in it. It doesn't count as a fireplace for your Sims. I guess I could have put fireplaces in each of these if I wanted to. I just didn't really feel like it. Um, it's not exactly what I was looking for. And then I ended up doing just the lights on the side. I thought about doing behind the entire thing, but I was like, it's too bright. It's already got like a light built into it, kind of. It doesn't need anything extra. Okay, now this was a great and brilliant idea, and I think it looked really nice. The problem is, for some reason, and I don't know if it's because I was on PS4, don't know. Part of it is because I'm up high. When you're up really, really high on builds, even though technically I'm on the first floor, my game sees it as like I'm on top of the skyscraper. It does this really bad on console where it's really hard to move around and mimic things and stuff. So I'm going to end up getting rid of those plants just because on the back side of that wall, the glitching will not stop. I don't know if you'll be able to tell throughout the video as I edit it, but the glitching just will not stop. So I eventually ended up taking them off just so it would run smoother and look nicer. And I put some greenery in some other places to kind of make up for it. That couch for some reason didn't copy when I copied the room, so I had to go through and replace it, the third one, but I wanted that third couch there just so you have some room. Like I said, I had like New Year's Eve kind of on the brain as I made this place. So I was like, well, here's some places where you can go downstairs, watch the ball drop of the private party by the pool. Make it really, really nice. Now, after this, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. After I finished everything else, I had no idea what I was doing. I just didn't know how I was going to get upstairs or anything. And then I was like, well, what if I use these little doohickeys here to my advantage? So I decided to just wrap the stairs around all four of them and have like a different way to get up there, basically, is how I ended up doing it. It ends up looking I think it looks really nice. Sorry, it's a little difficult to place stairs on PS4. Sometimes they can get a little finicky. So it took me a second to get them in place, but I ended up using the glass railing still, and it looks really nice, I think, at least. Like I said, it's my build. Of course, I think it looks nice. I'm vain. But I just did it up onto these just like simple little balconies. I don't put any furniture out there at all or anything ever. I just do these nice simple balconies with a door in on each side. I decided to use the nice tall City Living doors. I'll use the City Living windows with them too, I'm almost certain. Or no, I use the base game windows with the new I don't know, skins, let's call them, the new color options that match the City Living on the outside. I'm not really that big of a fan of these type of windows with like the blue on the outside and the white on the inside. I just did it on this one because it matches really well in the city, and I just happen to like them. I just like the design. I don't like that they're blue and then white on one side, but I digress. It's very little to complain about, really, in the grand scheme of things. Here I am. I tried to finick with them and like move them so they wouldn't glitch, but they were pushing out the front too bad then, so I just went through and deleted them all real quick. And it looks fine without them still. It looks perfectly fine without them. I like it still. So, those, I'm building like little cutoff areas for now. I'm not going to do anything with them until the very, very end, but I'll give you a little spoiler alert. They turn into little gardens. They're cute. I think they're pretty cute. Then I'm pretty sure now I decided to go down the list and get rid of some of the checkpoints I needed to do. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slap an elevator in this bad boy. And I'm going to build out around the elevator. At first, I just built little squares. And then I was like, it's a little boxy. It's not really a grand entrance. So I sectioned it off a little bit and did a little bit of a angled wall there. And those are actually your bathrooms. Yeah, there's only 2 toilets in this whole nightclub, which isn't like great, but I didn't want to clutter it up with just so so many bathrooms. So I figured your sim can sneak in there and go to the bathroom. It'll be fine. Apparently, I have a long pause here that I didn't edit out. I apologize for that. While we wait for that pause to catch up, how's your day going? You doing pretty good? You called your mom today? How about your dad? Okay. Alrighty then. All right. Now that pause is out of the way, let's get back into actually building. Like I said, I'm just going through and doing some of the requirements, little tiddly bits here. You know, it needs a mailbox and a trash chute for some reason. I get the trash chute. I get that. I don't get the mailbox. I don't understand why a nightclub needs a mailbox, but it is The Sims and she be fickle. Every park has to have a child's climby thing. Apparently, that's a Sims rule. So I guess mailboxes on rooftop lounges is not that far from it. It took me a second to decide how I was going to do this exactly, so I apologize for all the moving. Oh, here we go. She's finally figured out what she wants to do. So I knew I wanted like a dance floor that went over the pool, so you could look down and see the pool through it. Not that like you can actually do that. I mean, you can kind of see, but it's not like great. So I knew I wanted that. I knew I wanted it to be kind of like a center focal point. So when you exited the elevator to like come into the space, it's like, wow, looks pretty nice. Like, I'd be happy here. Could you imagine just walking out this elevator and there's just this glass DJ floor on top of a swimming pool down beneath? Like, I just want this place to exist. I live in a big city, so I would love for this to exist. I would go here and hang out. So I'm just kind of doing some corralling around to kind of make it the way I want it. I'm trying to decide the best blue that like kind of matches here to make sure it all looks nice. I'm gonna play with the bubbles here for a little bit, and it's kind of sad how much bubbleage I put down versus how much I end up with because I work on it for a while. I think this is where I gave up on it. Yep, I just put one on each side and then 86 the ones in the middle. Here in a second, I'm gonna put windows in there. It looks really nice. This place has a lot of windows, a lot. It's more window than anything else, really. At first, I was like, "Ooh, let's do a regular window." And I was like, "No, let's do the cool windows, right? Like, it's a nightclub. Hello." Also, this place looks really cool at night. I think there's some film of it at night in here. If not, I do apologize because I did play test it like always with like a group of Sims. I brought like a tiny little group of Sims here. And I let them like play around and run around and just they were dancing on the dance floors. I had them all order drinks and everything. I had a blast playing with Sims on this lot. Like nothing makes me happier than to like build a lot, especially if it's a community lot, and then to just kind of like I don't know, I guess turn it on and by like going and visiting there with Sims and seeing Sims use it and stuff. I love it. I feel so satisfied to see them like play on the lots after I build them. I'm still working on the dance floor. It seems, yep, I'm gonna put some lights up. It was having some glitch issues. It did not want me to like put things on top of this dance floor really at all. Besides the DJ booth, but besides that, it was really hard. After that, I just decided to slap down the base game white bar. It looks really crisp, clean. I was going for kind of like classy, elegant kind of look almost. It's not very elegant. It's a nightclub, but you know what I mean. I used those dine out bar stools there. And then from there, I was deciding if I what I was going to do window wise exactly to decide if there was going to be a backdrop behind the bar. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just do the entire wall in windows. Let's do it. Like I said earlier, this place is more window than anything. And then I decided from the bar I should go out a little bit. I went out two on one side, one on the other with some curved end pieces to kind of cap it off. It is a little bit asymmetrical, a little lopsided, but I like it. I liked it. It has a little character to it. At first I couldn't decide if I wanted to do something behind the bar or not. And so I kept playing with it a little bit, messing with it until I decided what I liked. Putting down some more of that tile from Spa Day that I put down earlier, and then just mirroring this on the other side. Everything I do pretty much in this build, I mirror and like copy. I wanted it to look really uniform and really just like businessy almost. Classy, I guess is the word I'm looking for, but it's not really that classy. And then I decided I needed some wallpaper, so went back to the tile from Spa Day. By the way, Spa Day, such a good pack now that it got that refresh. I can't wait to see them do some more refreshes. I'm holding my breath that City Living's going to get a refresh, or maybe Dine Out, because those are packs that I own that I think could use a little bit more love. I would love to be able to save an apartment just as an apartment, you know, and not have to jump through hoops and bounds to do that. So, yeah. I went out and I put in some seating because it is required in nightclubs, and I did want some seating anyway, just so you didn't have to sit at the bar, so some could get a beverage and then go and sit down. I thought about doing booths, but they just didn't really match what I was going for here. So I ended up just putting down more tables on either side here. Yep. And I just mirrored the table in the corner there, spaced them out a little bit more, and then just set them down on the other side so everything matches nice and easy peasy. I usually, which is really kind of interesting about this build, is I usually don't build with the grid on that much. Like, I usually turn it off so I can see what I'm doing, like, architecturally wise, kind of like more so than like just the grid. And here I'm flipping the doors with the windows a little bit, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to put some seating against that wall. But in this build I used the grid a lot so I could copy and make everything symmetrical. At first I thought I was going to put these down in like a little line, because like I want to love these so much. I really do. I want to love these, and I do love them in like some of the louder colors. But I don't know. Sometimes I just can't stand them. Sometimes I just can't. And so I decided to do the university couches instead, because they match together so well. It just becomes one big long piece. So after that, I decided to do some bathrooms. I always just use the unisex bathroom doors for the most part. I think the only place I really use the ones that have specific genders is in like a pool or something like that. But for the most part, I just do a couple gender neutral bathrooms. Now, here is where I got kind of creative. I was like, let's see, what's something we can do? So I put a wall up behind the bar, make it all nice and pretty, match the tile that's around. And then I decide to put some nice TVs up there. So you can sit at the bar and watch TV, and the TVs fit in that gray bar so well. I just loved it. Was so happy with that when I saw it for the first time. I think I'm finally gonna pop down some of those like super subtle saucer lights, size down even, so you just can't see them really. And then from there, yep, and then I steal the tile and the wall tile actually from down below to start on the bathrooms. And I decided I wanted to mirror the counters from the bar, so I just used the white again because it was classy. There's this weird shadow in both of these rooms that no matter what I do, I try moving the light around, I try doing all kinds of things, and I can't get rid of it, so I'm sorry. It does look bad, but I just kind of ignore it and get over it. I was thinking about putting the talking potties in, but I was like, it's a bit much. Let's just do like a regular, normal potty, you know? It's a regular toilet. And then from there, I decided let's put a couple windows in just to add a little bit of feature. And then I think I backed off from the bathrooms for a little bit because, like I've said in a previous video, bathrooms are not my favorite. I kind of just do them and then kind of move on. So they're just not my favorite. So we're actually almost done with this build. I think I'm going to add a few more little touches into the bathrooms, and then I'm going to do some more downstairs. But for the most part, I think this build is like pretty much done. Apparently I have a really big pause in here again. That's weird. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it is almost done. I just put some mirrors up in the bathrooms. I chose the lighted ones from, again, Spa Day. As you can tell, Spa Day is in my, like, top 5. I definitely have a top 5 of favorites, and maybe I'll do a video using just those so you can see them. Some of them may shock you a little bit, though. I decided to put a stereo in here. I know there's a DJ booth and I can dance as long as someone's playing the DJ booth, but you know, you never know. Sometimes Sims glitches out and doesn't send a DJ, and if you don't want to spend money to hire somebody, or if you don't want to spend yourself, there's a stereo in the corner just in case. So I always like to make sure, because we all know The Sims can be very weird. Right now, I'm searching for the board that goes on the wall to tell you about the events. Whenever I do a city living build, I like to include this board in some way, shape, or form somewhere. I usually put it in my houses somewhere, like outside or something like that. So I think I just put some little paper towels up on the wall in the bathroom. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of artwork in the bathroom just to kind of add a little bit of something. Just because I felt like it needed a little something. It was just very plain. I don't think I put artwork like anywhere else in here. I think I thought about putting the lighted lines from Bowling Night. Is it called Bowling Night? The bowling pack. I thought about putting those behind the TVs and stuff, and I was like, nah, I like it the way it is. It would be too much. I should have put some rugs in here after the doors, but I didn't. I left it just plain. I wanted it to be very, like, plain and open, so there was room to, like, move around and, like, actually, like, see your Sims, because this lot actually gets really populated when you play it, because I brought 5 Sims here, and then on top of it, there were probably almost 20 more. It was a lot. My PlayStation almost couldn't handle it. It kept, like, glitching a little bit. So if you're gonna play this on, like, console, beware. Maybe only bring a couple Sims, because the game likes to fill this lot up, which is cool. I like seeing Sims use the lots I make. Right now, I'm just gonna do like a cop-out roof. I'm gonna call it that, because I didn't feel like roofing this thing, and plus it's in the middle of the city, so I mean, it didn't really need like a roof. Most of the roofs, if you look at the buildings in the background, are just kind of flat with maybe a few accents on them. So I just did I think I did a number 3 half wall, and then I just put white on top, and then I put down some roofing material. I was gonna do black, and I was like, let's do white. The black is too dark. So, and then I think I put a billboard on either end of the like inner H, let's call it that. Just because, just to add a little something. I didn't want it to be completely empty. But I could have left it completely empty. Like I said, as you look around, you can see a lot of the roofs are like completely empty. So it's not that big of a deal. And then I put down just a couple little AC units up there, just like I said, for the heck of it. And then I go downstairs and start working on the outside a little bit. I decided to use the Eco Living lawn chairs in black and white. I like them. I think they're pretty. They're my favorite. Controversial opinion. I'm not crazy about the loungers that came with Island Living. I don't know. I just don't like them that much. They're a little I don't like the way they're shaped, I guess is what it is. I don't know. They're just not my favorite. My favorites are the base game ones and the ones that came with Eco. I'm just not a fan of the ones that came with Island Living. What you see me doing here is I was going to think about doing some kind of like design work with the tile, which sometimes I'll do, but honestly, I was about done with this build and I didn't want to sit through and do just a bunch of tile work now that I was pretty much done with the build. So I decided to just do a little bit of tile work to kind of add a little bit of pizzazz to it. As you can see, I'm just matching on each side again. Now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to put down the... Now, this is one thing I do love from Island Living. My favorite thing about the Island Living pack is the flora that comes with it. I absolutely love it. I love this grass to put down. I love the big hedge of grass. I think I'm playing with it. Like, I'm going to play with it here in just a second. Yeah, there it is, but it just doesn't fit there. So I ended up just using some base game ferns in the corner, and then I used the Island Living ferns scattered throughout. I think I used the orange swatch of them, the one where it's green leaves with orange flower, not orange leaves. Yep, that's what I did. And I just kind of flipped them down, and then it looks pretty nice. I like it. It looks pretty nice. And then I think this build is about done, really. Yeah, honestly. I'm going to plop down a couple tables on the outside here. I think these are the ones from Patio Living. It's really hard to tell right now because I have the window really small because I'm watching it edit. But yeah, I like these. I think they're very clean. They're my favorite umbrella table because I just think they look the cleanest out of all of them. And then I just decided to plop down these black and white chairs too. they match really well, so it works. And shockingly, I don't think I put a rug down under there. Yeah, back inside, apparently. Apparently I forgot something. Oh, I know what I'm going to do next. Next, I'm going to add the path lights from, I know, Spa Day. I'm going to add the path lights from Spa Day on here. I ended up doing the blue ones. This place looks really cool at night. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, this place looks fantastic at night. During the day, it just looks all classy, but at night, fantastic. I am so sorry if you just heard my cat scream in the background. He's being a bad kitty. Okay, so path lights are down, and then I put a couple ladders in. I know Sims don't, like, need ladders anymore to get in and out of pools because apparently the developers were tired of us horrifically drowning them or something like that. So, and then I put a couple lights in, just in a couple places to kind of add a little bit of light into this because I want the pool to not be so depth. There we go. At night, it just looks so nice. I love it so much. When the DJ booth is actually working, the inside looks so much cooler. I also decided to put that leaf down from Spa Day just because I liked it, and it added a little bit of light and depth. And now you can see Sims just enjoying the space, having a great time. So that pretty much wraps up the end of the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you have a happy new year wherever you are in the world. Alright, and if you liked it, subscribe. I make videos almost daily, and hit that bell for notifications.